Lights out and we're racing. Good start from Benelli. Great from Inestrosa off the front row of the grid, and likewise Gallo coming through from the second row as we run up to Eau Rouge and Radion. Inestrosa's going to go around the outside of Benelli and goes through into the race lead. Fantastic. Here comes Gallo as well. He pulls alongside Benelli as they come up the rise through the Kemmel Straight. So a brilliant start from Inestrosa and from Valerio Gallo. Up into Les Combes we go. Pick your breaking point here, boys, because here comes Serrano on the inside with Carranza in there as well, and into the side of Gallo. So they're both off and pushed out. So a disaster of a start for Valerio Gallo. He's down to 10th. I'll tell you what this is. This is 2019 Tokyo in Inestrosa, isn't it? Because this is exactly what we saw from him with Porsche. Look at Valerio Gallo on the recovery path then as he goes down the inside of Cockburn into La Source, gets that move done up into 7th place.
This is fantastic for Inestrosa. The more time he can gain now, the less he's got to put in on that possible wet tyre if the rain does come later on. I'm not sure when it's. I know it's scheduled some point in this race. They don't tell us off the trunk if it's somewhat interesting, but I know it's coming soon.
So, is this the time when the rain begins to hit? We are now at the half race distance. This is when we would expect the normal pit stops to start taking place if the race was going to be completely bone dry. But we know that weather is on the horizon. But when is it going to hit, and what are the drivers going to do then? This is a brilliant element of strategy, bit of unpredictability into these races, and it's all going to be who makes the right call as they come up the rise through Eau Rouge and Radion. Looking here at Jose Serrano, just in front of him is Kanata Kawakami, who in turn is being towed along by Lucas Benelli. So I don't know whether Serrano is going to have enough straight line speed in order to be able to close up, and indeed that gap looking relatively stable unless he goes for a lunge down the inside into Les Combes, which thankfully he thinks better of. Nobody pitting this time around. What about the inclement weather that we're expecting to come in, though? It's definitely getting greyer, it's definitely getting murkier. Is anybody going to blink at this stage? I think it's a bit too soon because we can't see any weather. Or are we seeing a strategy call here from Jose Serrano? We are. He's going to go onto intermediate tyres, but the track looks like it's bone dry.
That's got to be too early, surely. I mean, maybe he's seen something on the weather radar. Carranza's, I think, seen the same thing, but... Well, actually, no, we are now seeing drops of rain, so that might have been a masterstroke. Yeah, the rain's now coming down fairly hard as we now go up the Kemmel Straight, and Inestrosa, Benelli, Kawakami both wide. Everyone ahead of the guys we've pitted are on that soft compounder tyre. Will they be able to keep it alive for that one lap? This is going to be very interesting from these guys. That was a hell of a call.
In comes the leader. Inestrosa boxes. I reckon the rest are going to follow suit after this as well.
And look at the gap. That's Yamanaka there, who actually opted to take a little bit of fuel. Just about coming up ahead, or just behind Benelli. The gap now to the front of the field where Benelli was challenging the leaders is now up to about 5 seconds, so he's lost time there. You can see him sort of talking something. How's that happen? So, well, it wasn't the right choice. That soft tyre lasted longer, and now I'm wondering if Yamanaka will be able to do much on this soft. This is the one to watch.
Well, yeah, it certainly is. He's going to be like a sitting duck, surely coming through Les Combes, because he's got Igor Fraga all over the back of him, and look at him sliding, scrabbling to try and hold on for the grip, and Fraga's up his inside. He goes through, and surely his heart is going to sink like a stone. Is Yamanaka's now. It was a bold strategy call. It was certainly brave, but look at the understeer through into Rivage. I mean, I know it's a corner that induces that kind of behaviour in a car anyway, but it's surely too much now to ask of those slicks. So then, here is Igor Fraga with Kanata Kawakami just in front of him. Fraga needs to make some forward progress in this race, and he's right bunched up in this sort of four-way scrap for position with Lucas Benelli at the helm of it, his compatriot. And as you say, Fraga hasn't had such a good race out there so far. He needs to start making those moves whilst this field is bunched up. He's got a couple of laps to do so here, but of course you have to be so careful in these weather conditions. I really thought that would bring Kawakami and Fraga into play, that battle between Benelli and Beauvoir. If they start getting their elbows out, here comes Fraga for a dive down the inside into the chicane. Up it he goes, but they're going to flick it left. Kawakami once again is going to have track position. Can he have the traction on the outside though? Yes he can. Fraga goes through into P6.
I'm interested to see now if behind there's Yamanaka. So Yamanaka now on the renewed soft tyre is now starting to show his pace. He's gained about 2-3 seconds. These guys, as Dumont goes wide there, slides wide on board with Kawakami. Are we going to see Yamanaka dive up our inside here on that soft tyre? No, but he's very close. No, he did. There he is. So there's Yamanaka on the right-hand side there. He's got a ton of speed right now. He is on fire on those soft tyres and just is carving through the field.
Yeah, I think a podium might just be, as you say, a bit of a day later. Dollar short goes up the inside of Beauvoir into turn 7. Can he make that stick through there? Beauvoir's pushed out onto the curb, and Yamanaka goes through into P5, but a penalty on the last lap too.
He has to take every opportunity, which is why there's so many lunges here. That one was more fair. He was definitely there. He'll go for a go on Benelli here as well, who'll turn in. Oh, come on, Yamanaka, mate. Chill out. You have the race here. Come on. It's a shame he's got that penalty, but let's see what he can do. He should be able to open up the gap far enough to Benelli through these next few corners that the second penalty will not matter. Here, looking back now from the Japanese driver's POV, and look how much more grip he has, just driving away from Benelli like he's standing still, like he's in a different class. He'll go through the pit path, and I think he'll have the gap to serve the penalty, but it's a real shame because I think he could have caught Koki. But look at the gap coming down. It's 2.1 seconds now.
And it has worked out absolutely brilliantly for the Chilean driver as he comes around the final corner here at Spa-Francorchamps. It's the win for Angel Inestrosa in round 2 of the GT World Series in the Nations Cup.